Hey, favored ones, welcome back to another collective reading. I'm Kymmy. This is Favored Readings. Welcome. Come take your seat at the round table. There is the wishing well in the corner for anyone who wants to throw in a coin. So, before we get into today's messages, I just wanted to welcome in everyone who is new, and for anyone returning, I wanted to give my gratitude and thanks for your support and continued, um, vibing with me. Okay, and for any of those who are new, we do something on my channel called Welcoming in Utopia. Welcoming Utopia, which is anything from your personal utopia, galactic, international, on what your utopia would look like. If that's a ceasefire, that's a ceasefire. If it's wanting to have your own garden and making sure that you are self-sufficient, going to school, having a loving home and nurturing family, that's would be what you call welcome into utopia. So if you need to pause for a moment and welcome it in. And now if any of you are new, you may feel a little tingling in your left eye of receiving, because for me, welcoming in utopia means that we are receiving, in our receiving energy of happiness and abundance, and seeing people eye to eye. So now that we have welcomed in utopia, today's messages are going to be in regards to Merlin's Alchemists. So I feel like a lot of you are alchemists. You use both science and logical thinking, as well as spiritual, emotional emotions, using your emotions to manifest, using both magic and the science parts of you mixed together, and that's alchemy. Alchemy was very popular back in the day before it got split off into three different components, which is religion, sciences, and um, and math. So some of you may be into chemistry, some of you may be herbologists, some of you may do holistics and herbal, like home remedies and stuff like that. Some of you might be powerful manifestors. I definitely feel like a lot of you are powerful manifestors. Now, since Merlin was in his creation of how he was born was through his mom was a woman, a human woman, and and the father was an incubus, an incubi. I feel in that case, what it means to me is that a lot of you could be using your dark feminine energy to manifest in things, or you're using sex magic, like masturbation and such. I know this is a very adult conversation, so if you are not up for it, or if you are under 18, please be advised this is not suitable for younger audiences and those who are not, open-minded to it. So if it's not for you, then that's perfectly okay. I have many other readings. You can go and check those out. So I feel like some of you I feel like a lot of you are stepping into your divine sexiness. Really amping it up, feeling yourself, even if you're asexual, then you're just feeling your style, your aesthetic. You are manifesting with confidence behind it, which is so important, because before you could have been trying to manifest, but without the true intentions. You can have intentions, but if you don't have that spark, it's like having a pilot light not turned on, and you're just gassing yourself up without any actual spark. And if you're gassing yourself up without any spark, or passion behind it, then you may just choke yourself out, or you may just work yourself so hard that you're passing out, like in a room full of gasoline that doesn't have no pilot light lit, in order to get, you know, a fire lit underneath you and get it going and stroking the flames of creation. Some of you may want to, may have your CO2 detector going off or something like that. That's something that came to mind with the analogy that that came to mind. So, yeah, a lot of you are stepping into your dark feminine, your femme fatale, or I'm not sure what you would call it what it is. It would be a non-binary or a gender neutral way of stating it. You're stepping into your villain era. Like, I have no other way to describe it. You're standing up for yourself. You're realizing that you are the ish. Okay? You are that person. You're the it person is what I'm trying to get at, is that you're really stepping into your confidence. You're stepping into the way that other people see you is the way you're starting to see yourself. So for those who are practicing lust magic and stuff like that, make sure you're directing it with best of intentions so it's not firing back at you, and make sure you're not doing love spells, as if they don't love you enough without a spell, then they don't really love you, and that's obsession. So make sure you're staying true to pure intentions so that you don't have to deal with your own consequences. And make sure you're practicing open practices as well, and not stepping in on appropriation. Which brings to mind that some of you may be finding out what your own cultural history and traditional backgrounds are. That could be a way that you are honoring yourself and becoming an alchemist, is by alchemizing lost traditions. You're learning to become a studier of magic and sciences, whereas your family may have been really religious growing up. So you are finding the traditions of the family before it lost its magic, before we lost our magic. So that could be that you had pagan family member background. You could be finding out different ways that your family ancestral line cleansed themselves, the way they worked with herbs, the way they fed themselves. You could be looking up, for those who looked up their human design, you're looking up a human design and finding out which way you eat, finding out that you're a tastemaker. For being a alchemist as well, what means to me is that you could be a baker, because baking needs a lot of precise measurements, whereas cooking, you cook with your heart. If you're a seasoned chef. But yeah, I feel like a lot of you are experimenting with baking, or experimenting with your garden and what's the best way to grow a plant. You could be splicing things and finding out what way to do it next year. You were like, okay, the season's over, which plants grew really well and which ones didn't grow really well, and then you're looking into them and finding out maybe they need better soil. You're really alchemizing your you're alchemizing, so you have to put in less productivity and receiving more abundance and more of a positive outcome for less energy exerted. So you're really starting to relax, and in turn, you're really alchemizing the energy of assumption, the law of assumption is something you're really working with right now, is that you're assuming the universe has your back. You are assuming that everything's working in your favor. You're assuming that even if things don't go in your favor, you are smart enough and you are intuitive enough and you are innovative enough to flip that bad day into a good one. You're just turning it over and giving a good old smack, and you're like, no, today you are my ish, and this is my playground, and this is the rules, and here's how we're gonna play. And you're telling the universe, hey, you're mine, I'm doing this. I feel like a lot of you are starting to like treat the universe like a femdom would. Like I said, this is very 18 plus. I usually don't talk about this stuff, but this is the analogy that I'm getting, is that how a femdom would work is that like the universe wants to see you spend money, but they also want to make sure, you know, you're spending it on, like, what are you spending it on? What do you want to spend all this money on for? What do you want? What do you want? And you're like, oh no, universe, I was thinking maybe I would like a brand new haircut, or I don't know, I was thinking, universe, that I would buy myself a beat and be super awesome, you know. And just really telling the universe, like making a list, like, this isn't up for negotiation, these are my list of demands. And watch as they start to unfold. The universe is ready to go off at all times for you. Like, you're really starting to notice when you tell the universe, hey, I want that, they're already up, they're making you a plate. You're like, universe, I'm hungry. And the universe is like, what do you want? I'll make you a plate. Sit there while I make you a plate. What do you want on your plate? And then they're like, and you're like, okay, what do I owe you, universe? And you're like, universe is like, you don't owe me a damn thing, girl. You ain't owe me nothing. You ain't gotta give me nothing. But smile and eat it. Guys, all you gotta do is sit there and eat pretty. Universe wants you to know that you are pretty. And it likes watching you eat. It's like watching the way you eat lately and how the way you're treating yourself, and the universe is like, dang, you look good. Yeah. Yeah, people can't even get a hold of you lately. Maybe you are you're working on yourself and you're taking a lot of rest, and people are like, yo, where are they at? And you're like, I'm doing me. We have the Page of Swords here. So yeah, you're making sure that you're working towards talking to yourself better and inside of your head. And the universe is noticing, and it's like, ooh, they're talking good. They're talking good to themselves. I want to reward them for talking good to themselves. The universe is so excited that you are doing so good right now. And even if you don't feel like you're doing good right now, they are hyping you up 110%. Somebody might be getting some, like, yeah, the universe is saying, put on your red pumps and keep talking the way you're talking, because you are putting up boundaries. You're telling people the way you're going to be talked to. You know, put on those red pumps, feel yourself, go out and talk beauty into your life. For those who are male, of course, you know, like put on those Adidas, go put on those Michael Jordans, and like seize the day. Don't let anyone scuff you up. Yeah, I feel like Some of you may be snowbirds and move during the seasons, or a lot of you are just traveling right now on an airplane ride and speaking your truth, walking in your passion. Some of you are stepping out of being a wallflower into being the limelight of the party, because I'm getting the song Party Rocking in my head. So a lot of you could be shufflers or learning how to dance, because they were one of the ones who made it really mainstream and popular. Some of you are making something really mainstream and popular. It could have been something that was like tarot, for instance, and like obviously it's modern age right now, so it's like already famous and popular. But I feel like in your friend group, like let's say for example you started putting numerology numbers on your timeline, and people might have been like, you're funny at first, and then all of a sudden they're like, you want to know what, they're on point. Maybe I'll start putting them. And they start noticing the numerologies and the connections to their ancestors and guides and the messages that they're getting, and they're looking it up. And all of a sudden, they're a fan of it too. So you're making fans out of your critics. Some of you might like Queen Herbie. But yeah, your rest is making you look your best. Like rest never looked so good on someone. Like you're resting and your guides are over here like, oh my goodness, let's make their life colorful. Oh my god, they're finally resting. Thank goodness. Let's put it into motion, people. They stopped moving locations so we can find the X marks the spot. Yes. Yeah, a lot of you could be doulas. That could be one way that you are helping bring manifesting with femme fatale, because for a long time you may be doing things in a non-traditional fashion, because at one point they were more helpful, like doing a water birth, or not being in the position that King Louis II, I think, created, because when we were giving birth, we weren't supposed to be laying down on our backs. We were supposed to be sitting up and squatting. And one of the kings of France decided he loved torture and watching people go through things the hard way. And it's been normalized for years that that's the position that women are supposed to be in, because one guy was sadistic and wanted to watch his woman go through childbirth for hours instead of like 20 minutes. So you may be noticing that there's a lot of trends that were popular back in the day that aren't anymore, and you're learning to just not go along with it. Maybe you're not celebrating Thanksgiving because of genocide. You know, there's a lot of things that people are taking action and thinking for yourself. Which is like one of the modern things is the hustle game, which is your showing your true alchemy skills. Like you're a true alchemist if you can transmute rest into abundance. Like it's giving me Rumpelstiltskin vibes. Some of you may associate with Rumpelstiltskin or Shrek. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. But what you get is Rumpelstiltskin turns straw into gold. Some of you may have seen this meme going around, like if you want to be helpful to the animals outside, make sure you're giving them hay and straw, because blankets will freeze up and could make them ill and cold. So if some of you are thinking about helping others and animals over this winter, you may want to look into making a straw enclosure. So I pulled out number 1, purity. You could be seeing 1s, 4s a lot. Purity. Calendula is where I got the doula information from. The sun. You have raw energy right now because you are not worrying about what's coming next. You believed in yourself and what you are doing and what you have to say for yourself and what you stand for. And the universe is standing with you. They're resting with you. They are talking assertively amongst yourself. You are talking with assertiveness. You are speaking your name on opportunities. Before, you may have not spoke up for yourself and was trying to be humble, but sometimes there's this case where you're so humble that you miss opportunities, or you're so humble that you don't speak up for yourself in a room and let someone else take that opportunity, even though you are both equally worthy of that opportunity. That's in the past. You are putting yourself out there. If there's an opportunity for a marketplace coming up and they had a cancellation and they're like, you want to do it? And you haven't even released anything yet. And you're like, you want to know what? Yeah, I will do it. Or someone wants to put you on before stage. And like, another example. Assertive. Let's say your kid was having problems in school or with a friend, and you're being assertive now, and you're teaching them how to be assertive as well through your actions. You're also being assertive by knowing what and what doesn't deserve your energy. So whereas before, everything may have triggered you and caused you into a reactive state. And now, with you being assertive, starting taking the actions, because the page is the beginning before you become a king and mastered that energy. But right now you're at the beginning of it. You could be looking into Toastmasters. I do have links below from when I was talking with my own therapist in regards to being more assertive, to going on stage and talking. A lot of you, it doesn't have to be on stage or a friend of a lot of people, but maybe you're being more assertive in your family when people aren't talking to you in a respectful manner, or a friend talked to you in a disrespectful manner, and instead of letting it slide, you talked up for yourself, and you're like, yo, that bugs me. Real friends don't do that. This is my way of showing you boundaries so that we can continue our friendship. You're really showing the way you're going to be treated. So not only are you teaching people what way they're supposed to be treating you and talking to you, and you're being assertive and putting your energy into the right buckets at the right time, you also know when to pull back your energy. You're like, okay, well, I was assertive and you're not respecting my boundaries, so I'm going to give it a rest. I'm going to give our whole relationship a rest. And if anyone is inside of music, when you have a rest, you don't hear it. So you may have people who are surprised that they're not hearing from you anymore because, well, you're being assertive and standing up for yourself and no longer people pleasing. And some people may not get that, but you want to know what? This is your sanctuary. This is your secret garden that you are orchestrating yourself. Birds and swings could be important to you. Some of you might be getting a sexy swing. Some of you could be becoming more assertive in the bedroom as well, and telling your partners what you want from them, and making sure that you're getting lots of rest. Because the reason why you might have been less assertive was because you were just constantly tired. Yeah, being assertive could be starting a new relationship and letting them know beforehand what you want from it. And waiting until you do receive a genuine offer. And that's what you're alchemizing. These are messages on what you are alchemizing right now. And yeah, you are alchemizing the energy from people pleasing and bending over backwards and doing a lot of work and thinking you need to hustle and struggle in order to thrive. And you're throwing it away. Just like I did the first time. I got the card and I tried to touch it and it flew out of my hand. Because you're supposed to be throwing that energy away. You are alchemizing your way up from always needing to rush. And being assertive over yourself. So I'm going to read number 1 from the Calendula. Some of your kids might be learning the recorder right now because I got hot cross buns stuck in my head. Or you could be starting to learn an instrument. You are never too old to start learning an instrument, and start with the basics. I'm hearing music theory. A lot of you could be learning music theory, or you're very prolific and well versed in music theory. Upright innocence, childlike joy, humility. Yeah, so don't be too humble that you don't get your garden because you just keep giving away all the fruitful and if you keep giving away your nutritious soil to other people who keep wanting to just piss in it. I don't know why I said it that way, but either way, giving away your foundation because you believe that others are more worthy of this beautiful, beautiful place that you are manifesting and alchemizing with your energy. You can keep giving it to them, but if they don't learn how to make the foundation themselves, it's just going to rot after you give it to them. So you might as well keep it and tend to it yourself, whatever that gift is. It'll be different for everyone. Astrological ruler is Sun, Ra. You have that raw energy. You could work with Apollo. You could also work with Ra, Egypt. Could be a standing in assertiveness with all that is going on over there right now. Historically, Calendula was known as the poor man's saffron. So yeah, a lot of you could be working with saffron right now. And like I said, from the east areas as well. Explains why I was drawn to it. It was used as to add color and flavor to foods in places that were in place of more expensive spice. Yeah, you are replacing yourself and going from being a cheap spice to an expensive spice. You are expensive. You are going to make sure that people know your worth. Your attention and time is expensive. You are an expensive person, and you're not just giving your time and your energy and your attention away to anyone nowadays. Nope. You're like, I'll wait. I'll wait for people who know my worth. I'll wait for those who hear me when I speak in a room. Calendula petals were also added to salads and used as dyes for fabric and hair. A lot of you could be dyeing your hair, doing tie-dye. A lot of you may have merch with like tie-dye effects on it, or a lot of you may just enjoy doing tie-dye. Some of you could be around the time when the original tie-dye was, a callback from those who actually lived through it. So if you lived through it, thank you for leaving behind some styling do's and digs for the rest of us. And for those who are younger, yeah, they give us some major drip to be working with nowadays. From infusion to extracts to ointments, folk medicine healers in Europe prepared in a wide array of healing remedies and foods with calendula. Its petals were used to induce menstrual flow, produce sweat during fevers, and cure jaundice. I don't know what that is. What is jaundice? Jaundice? Jaundice. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of you could be dealing with resting right now because your menstrual cycle is super tough at this time, and remember to be releasing that energy as well and thanking your uterus. So I thank you for carrying me and building a wonderful nest. I forgive any energies and call back any energies of mine because it is known this is what I mean, using science and magic on your side. Okay, not only are you going to manifest using magic of the mind by saying, releasing any anger, because it's said for some people, harsh periods is from either a murky diet or from harsh feelings because it's held in the root chakra, fear and anger. So I usually like to do a Ho'oponopono prayer forgiveness during that time if it's hard. I also like to use heat, compression, because not only it can also mean that you have a heavy flow, which means thicker liquid, obviously. And if you drink more water, you use heat, you will thin the blood naturally, and the pelvic muscles don't have to work as hard like a ketchup bottle trying to squeeze. So that's the spiritual and mental part, and the placebo, and also scientific way. Another way to do it would be the holistic, which is all about alchemy, doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, bringing it all together, because we are all those things. We are a physical, emotional, and spiritual being. So you're learning to bring all three of those elements together. Maybe you're working with a lot of different elements as well. A lot of you could be candle makers or work with candles. A lot of you could be scryers as well, working with water and cleansing. Remember to drink lots of water. You can use rosemary, turmeric, rose hip. A lot of you could be creators of these types of medicines to bring forth to those who do have periods, men and women who do go through that lining shed once a month. In the 19th century, physicians used calendula to treat viruses, stomach ulcers, liver issues, and skin infections. Traditionally, because of its anti-inflammatory powers, it was used externally to treat burns, bruises, and wounds and to help stop bleeding. Calendula resembles the sun, a radiant, bright yellow and orange flower. It grows easily and spreads its joy across gardens, symbolizing the gesture of universal abundance. Solar herbs are those that neutralize poison and air in the recuperation of vital forces. Calendula's gentle and abundant powder reminds us of the elements of the realm of light. To be allowed entry within these angelic realms requires childlike innocence and humility. Don't allow pain from the past to disable your ability to dream of a new life. Welcome in Utopia. Welcome Utopia. Welcome. Thank you for gracing all my favored ones who love and share this time with me. Calendula represents the pure impulse to create, vitality, and creative need to step into a new journey. The radiance of calendula is a superconductor. Be very aware and selective with your intentions when using her energy in rituals, and she will greatly amplify your intentions. So yeah, as I was stating at the beginning of the reading, some of you may have more of an amped up intention at this moment. So if you're hoping to amp it up even more, you may want to look into this. Here it is. So in case I'm saying it wrong, you got it. Oh, was that it? That was it. Yeah, so it greatly amplifies your intentions. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Can we get one more card from Merlin, please, on anything he would like to say to my favored ones? Obviously that, but like, can we get like, because I'm a spoiled brat, can I get an extra one, please? Because you love me. And can we get an extra message for our lovely favored ones? Booyakasha. Okay. The card that he originally threw out that I'm being a brat about, because obviously that makes sense. Merlin wants to come through and let you know, my dear alchemists, my dear favored ones, the ones who have the dice rolling in your favor, the ones who have the wishing well in the corner. You are the wand, and you are getting what you deserve. It's getting what you deserve. It is coming in. Some of you could be having tax returns come in, or some sort of like pension plan. Something that you were worried about not receiving is coming in. And the extra one, because I'm a spoiled brat and I'm loved by the universe, and so are you all, because if you're following me, that love extends to you. If you're a true lover and you truly love the universe, and even if you're not, you want to know what my love's strong enough for all of us. Thank you for your love and support, everyone. For real, for real. I appreciate you, and reading your messages below is so wholesome. Some days, you know, I'm like, I know I'm supposed to be doing this, and this is my calling, and I know I have so many other callings, but the fact that you take the time and message me is so awesome. I don't know, I just feel like, you know, old school times when whenever you leave a message for me, it's like seeing that little flag up on the mailbox, like in olden style, like someone brought me a letter. They Blue's Clues, like I just got a letter. I just got a letter. It's like, but except it's I just got a notification and someone sent me a message. So maybe you are all giddy and love that kind of stuff. Maybe you love pen pals, have long distance friendships that really mean a lot to you. That's just what's coming. But oh, Merlin says King of Cups. You're so abundant. You're going to be overflowing and sitting on that throne, like just watching all of the abundance of the ocean just wash up on shore for you. It's like you're just sitting there on the beach just waiting, and a whole ship full of cargo rolls up on you. It's giving me the image from the Hobbit movies. No, it might not be the Hobbit movies. It's the Lord of the Ring movies, most definitely. But either way, when the Fool of the Took finds the whole raid and finds all that good in the corner, and they're like, yes, I went on this big journey. We were shot at. We were fired. Well, they weren't shot at because it's Lord of the Rings, but yeah, they were shot arrows at. We've been shot at. We've been almost murdered millions and trillions of times. But I found a whole case of green here in this house, and we're gonna smoke it together. So a lot of you might be cutting back on your green smoke, or you just might have a smoking buddy that you're just relaxing and hanging out with, and knowing that you have all you need and all you need to be provided for. Like, not everyone's going to have the same vices, and people are going to be sober in their own sobriety journey is different. So I'm not going to judge you if you be smoking or if you have a drink every now and then. That doesn't make you any more or less spiritual. It makes you spiritual is knowing your limits and knowing yourself and knowing your shadow and your light attributes and bringing them together and in a creative manner, so that you co-create with the universe. Because that's what we're here for. We're here to learn lessons and create. So the fact that every day you're creating your reality and living up to your end of the soul contract, yeah, there's extra tests and trials and stuff. But the main key component is staying grateful and creating something. So if all you created today was smile, or all you created was getting out of bed, then I'm still proud of you, and so is the universe. If today you created a whole business, or you created a whole new look for yourself, or you created a whole new friendship group, I'm still proud of you, still valid. All of our journeys and whatever part we are on, Merlin wants you to know that you are valid and you are abundant. And this is where you're heading from. Being assertive and speaking truth over yourself and kindness is bringing about abundance. So don't forget that you can manifest anything. And you can manifest it with your eyes closed, laying down. Ooh, a lot of you could be manifesting your dream life through actual meditation and sleep. A lot of you could be co-creating with the universe while you're sleeping in the astral. A lot of you can also be clearing away trauma and cleaning your slate off, so that way during your sleep, so that you can just chillax and get what you deserve during waking hours, because life is but a dream. Hello again. But like, all seriously, they tell you from elementary, they're like, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. So sometimes it's a nightmare, Sometimes you can't believe yourself and you want to pinch yourself. Both are lessons and experiences. Yeah, a lot of you could be experimenting with what you want in your life right now. So some of you might be experimenting with the universe to see how powerful your manifestations is. Like saying, hey, I'm going to go to the store and it's going to be, all my favorite things are going to be on sale. And you make like a list and everything you want when you get there is on sale. Let me get an example for myself, because I've been trying to test this myself, because I don't give any advice to you that I be trying to do myself. I was getting my winter jacket cleaned, for, being in the closet over winter, and I was like, it's really foofy. I don't want it to get ruined inside of the machines here, so I'll get it professionally done. And when we went there, they were like, it's going to be $40. We'll see you next week. I was like, I don't want to pay no $40 for my jacket clean. I'm like, I'm abundant, but it's a jacket. I know. Some of you are going to be like, it smells like broken here. That's not the case. I ain't broke. I still have the money. I want to spend it on other things. I'm like, all week, I'm like, it's not going to cost me more than $25 when I get back there. It's not going to cost me more than $25 when I get back there. It's not going to cost more than $25 when I get back there. I got there and the person rung it up and it was 24 and some change. I gave her the 25 and I was like, keep the change. I'm going. I'm looking happy. But yeah, just calling your shots. Like if you're into billiards or pool, calling your shots. Calling a lucky number 7 before rolling the dice. So that's my example. I know it's not super large or in charge or anything, but you can be large and in charge with your manifestations, and alchemizing and transmuting negative energy and a negative situation into your advantage is what I really feel right now. If someone's like throwing dirt on you, then you grew a flower from it. Someone poured water over your head, you're turning it into a swimming pool, and now you're getting money for people to come over and swim in your pool. You're just turning it over and just taking it by the horns and really making it yours. Some of you are doing that with a little bit of fresh downstairs in the basement. Some of you may be doing that. Remember, that can take a lot of extra energy, and remember to be napping if you're going to be trying to do that way. Remember to think about it during the whole time and during the release. You can't just think about it at the end, because if you're thinking about something else the whole time, so you're like, I want a big house. Make sure you're thinking about big house the whole time. I don't know how you're going to get off that way, but hey, that's how it works. A lot of you are doing it to relax. So just think about relaxing and having relaxing music on. Either way, I hope that this message reaches anyone who is meant to hear it at the time that they are meant to hear it. And I look ever so forward to meeting more of you, my beautiful favored ones, and watching this community grow, because honestly, I think we'd make a great community, and we have a lot to tell and a lot of growth to look forward to. So, Merlin's little alchemists, I hope you transmute something very wonderful today. And remember to eat, hydrate, and jazz hands. Okay, bye everyone.